I want to bring in Ryan Robinson. Ryan, thank you so much for being with us. We understand that you were a camper, former camper, but also a counselor at Camp Mystic. You knew the owner and many of those in that community who went there. I can imagine what you guys are going through, so my condolences, but tell us how the community is doing this afternoon.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for bringing me on. This is obviously just such a absolutely devastating time right now for the Hill Country and the camp community that exists around Hunt, Texas. I actually grew up going to camp at Camp Waldemar for 8 years and then was a counselor at Mystic for 2 years. And I want to make clear that I'm speaking on behalf of, right now the whole camp community, but also all of my friends that, went to Mystic and the former campers and, the Mystic family that helped shape me as well. This is just beyond words. There's no words for what's going on right now.
And tell us a little bit about Dick Eastland. Tonight he is being hailed a hero. Of course, we know that he is the owner of Camp Mystic. What do you remember
Yeah.
about him and, tragically what happened?
Dick and his wife Tweety are they're king and queen of Hunt, Texas. They are, spoken of so highly. And growing up, all of my friends that were campers at Mystic always talked about Dick and Tweety. And so when I was a counselor and I finally got to meet Dick, all of the memories and, words that were spoken of him were true. And he is just truly the most selfless, kind, father figure to thousands of girls. I had the privilege of teaching the fishing class with him at Camp Mystic, and those are truly some of my favorite life memories. I felt lucky every single day that I got to talk to Dick. He was, a man that made everyone feel safe and seen, especially someone like me that was coming in from a different camp. He made sure that I always felt comfortable and felt at home at Mystic. He was just an extremely selfless person, and he showed that until the very end.
Yeah, you say selfless, and that's certainly what we're learning about him. He passed away tragically trying to help those campers. You talked about your experience at Camp Mystic. I'm curious about being along the river. You said that you were a fishing instructor. Could you ever have imagined that something like this would have happened? I mean, you saw that river every day.
Right. Yeah. And I'm sure y'all probably heard it a few times now. Like, we're used to flooding in Hunt, Texas. It floods, there's flood signs everywhere. I experienced flooding growing up when I went to Waldemar, and I experienced flooding when I was a counselor at Mystic. It happens. And what happened on the 4th was just completely unprecedented. Never seen. It is definitely like a 1 in 800 years kind of flood. There's nothing that 45 feet of water or however many feet of water in 45 minutes. Like, I don't think there was really anything that anyone could have done in the middle of the night to prepare us enough. It felt like it came so out of nowhere. And I know as a counselor and camper, when we get flash flood warnings, we're like, okay, it'll just be, the normal few feet. And we stay inside, we stay indoors, and that's what everyone did. But no one was prepared. No one had the right signs or right warnings for this type of devastation.
You mentioned no one had the right signs or right warnings. Typically, how would a situation play out? There's flooding. Would you get an alert on your phone? Was there a procedure or was there a protocol?
Yeah.
What was being told?
Well, from what I know, the first warning went out at 1 a.m. And at this point, all the campers in the camp is shut down. Everyone's asleep. So I don't know in that case. But during the day, there's bugles going off, there's sirens. We're told to go inside and stay put. When it floods, we're told to stay away from the river. Nothing this big has ever happened. So I can't say for sure, you know.
Yeah. Ryan, one thing that sticks out about this particular area, I'm learning that it's about 55,000 people. So that implies that it's pretty much a close-knit family. How is the community doing right now? And what is your message to the community?
Yeah, that's a great question. Honestly, what I think I want our nation to understand right now is that the camp community is so tight knit in Hunt, Texas. We may wear different colors and sing different songs, but We truly think of ourselves as one big camp community. We share the same love for the hill country and, what all of our camps represent. When, a camp experiences one loss, we all experience that same loss. We feel all of the heartbreak together. Camp Mystic and a lot of other camps in the area, they're more than just a summer camp. We're family. And right now that family is grieving, but also showing incredible, incredible strength. Um, all we can do right now is just honor the girls and the counselors and the staff and the first responders, and the families for, holding everyone together right now.
Yeah, and so many are grieving tonight alongside you guys. Ryan Robinson, thank you so much.
Thank you.